Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. In this video, I will be making a tutorial on how to make a really simple home page using Flutter for Android. So now, as you can see, I have VS Code open here, and also an Android emulator using the first Pixel model with the API 24, which is the lowest I could get. It's Android 7, the Nougat the Nougat version, if you know it. So first, let's just start. We will create a new Flutter project. I can just type the command Flutter and select this one, Flutter new project, and then select the template. So for this tutorial, I will just select an empty application, and then I will save it here, Flutter projects, my own folder for Flutter apps, and the name will be simple home page, simple home page. And now we need to wait for the template to be created. Yes, I trust the authors, it's myself. As you can see, it says here Flutter create template app empty override running. So I need to wait for it to run and complete. Okay, our Flutter project is ready. Press F5 to start running. Okay, so here, this is the project, the template project. Now before we start to modify it, I will just try to run it first. So I will turn on my AVD here, Android virtual device, and click run over the void main here. Run on Pixel API 24. Now it says starting the box session, Flutter launching, so we need to wait for that to complete. And once it's done, we should be able to see the app here. It will just pop up inside this window, this AVD, this Android emulator. It says here, running Gradle task, assemble debug. And on the debug console, it says launching lib/main.dart on Android SDK built for x86 in debug mode. So we will need to wait for that to finish. And once it's done, it should say something like installing app or something. Okay, it's taking quite long, maybe because it's my first time running this particular project, and also running it on this emulator because I just created it yesterday. It's a new virtual device. Okay, so while we wait, let's take a look on the code here. So first, of course, we will work inside lib main.dart. So let's examine the code here. So in the first line, we have import package flutter slash material dart. So in this line, we are importing the material package or template from the official Flutter. It's a template for design made by Google. using the material design, so we can easily just use the predefined widgets. Okay, now it's launching. It says build app debug.apk connecting to VM service, and as you can see, my AVD screen turns white, which means it's the app running. Okay, now it says d/egl emulation and everything, and we can see the app here, hello world. It says hello world. That means our app is now running uh, with no problem. And now let's continue. So next we have void main, which is the main function in which every Dart program will run from. And inside the function we have run app with the argument const main app, which means our main app is a constant. And now this main app refers to this class, which is class main app extends stateless widget, which means our app is stateless at the moment. And then inside the class it has a constructor. The constructor is also a const, which means it's constant, with the argument key, super.key, which means the key argument is required by the stateless widget. Not required, but requested. It's not required. And the stateless widget itself extends the base widget class. And inside it overrides the build method of the stateless widget, which returns a widget object with the argument context with the type build context. So we don't need to know too much about that. We just need to know how we can create our own view, our own display, our own widgets. So inside it returns a const material app, which is the material app template that we imported previously here at the top. And inside the material app, it has some uh, key value arguments. The first is home, which is a scaffold object, which is the base for every material app. Like every material app needs to have the home scaffold, if I'm not mistaken. And the scaffold itself contains a body, which is a center object with the child text hello world, which is this thing here we're seeing right now. So the function of the center object or widget here is to simply center this child widget, which is the hello world text. So it's positioned right in the center of the app window here, as you can see. So now let's start modifying this code. So first I will remove these trailing commas because I don't like it. And then I will um, okay, I will add another argument for the scaffold, which is app bar. App bar. Okay, what's the error? Okay, it's not a const, so I need to remove the const constructor and instead put it for the center. Then what are the arguments? Title. The title will be text. And the text will be home page. And now after doing these modifications, I could simply uh, click Control S to save it, and at the same time hot reload the app, which means it will refresh the app here, running here, without actually restarting it. So it will be a very seamless change, a very seamless change. So I'll do it now. It says here hot reloading, and now we have an app bar here at the top saying homepage because I set it to say homepage. Now I could also customize it further by, for example, I could also give another argument to the app bar. leading, which is to add a widget on the left side here before the H, because it's leading. It leads. It's on the start. I will give it an icon. Icon. Icons. Home. Okay, it exists, and it says here use const with the constructor to improve performance. Try adding the const keyword to the constructor invocation. So I can simply do that. Const. Now I can save it, reload. Now as you can see, it has a little uh, home icon here on the left before the homepage text. And now I can also add okay, what are the arguments? Actions. Now the function of this actions argument is to add some some widgets defined inside a list that will be put on the right side of the app bar here. So I will give it an icon, icons, icons menu, for example, and also give it const at the start of the list here, and then save it. Now as you can see, we have a little button here on the right. Now I would also like to style so that the homepage text is centered here inside the app bar by giving the app bar another argument, which is center title, and the value of boolean true, because we want the center title to be true. Save it. Now the title is centered. And now I can also uh, give the app bar a different color, because as you can see here, we can't really see the difference between the app bar part and the home page overall part. So I will give it color, background color, with the value of colors, blue, for example, blue. Save it. Now the app bar is blue. And I also want to change the color of the text and everything on the inside the app bar here to be white. So I can do that by giving each and every one of the widgets inside the app bar here a color, respectively. For the text part, I could give it style with the value of text style with the argument colors white. Forget a comma here. Save it. Now the title is white, and I want to also make it bold, so I can give it font white, dot bold. Save. Now the title is bold. Now I want to also set the icons to be white, so I can do that. Color, colors, white, and I could just copy that and give it inside the next icon and save it. Now all the icons and also the text are white. Now let's modify the home page here. So first I will delete the text here, and I will give it um, a column with the children text. I will just copy from the title. format it, and remove the color because I just want it to be black on top of the white background, and make it say something else like this is a home page. I could save it. Now as you can see, it's now on the top. Now I want to make it be centered like previously. So using this column, I could add an argument of main axis alignment to align the contents on the main axis. And the main axis in a column is the vertical axis because it's column, it's vertical. Main axis alignment dot center, save it. Now it's centered. And I want to also make this text bigger, so I could do it by giving another argument inside the text style, which is font size with the value of the type is double, so I could give it a number, for example 24.0, save. Okay, now the text is bigger and it looks nice. Next I want to make it look like a home page where you can uh, click something to go to the next page. I will give it a button. I'll give a button under this text here which says uh, go or start maybe. So I could do it by adding another widget under the text here, still inside the children of the column, which is an elevated button. Elevated button. Since this is only an example homepage, so we don't really need any function to run on pressed, so I could just give it an empty function. And because functions aren't constants, I need to delete this const keyword and give it to the text instead because it's a constant. And for the child of the elevated button, I could give it text, and the text should say it's a const, and the text will say um, start. Now I will save it. Now I have a little button under here which says start. Now I also want to style it. Okay, let's see if I delete the elevated. Does it exist? Button. No, okay, so I wanna try other button types. How about button bar? No. Button. What kind of buttons are there? Okay, I'll just use elevated button for now. And I want to style the text to be a little bit bigger. I can just copy from the top style here, paste it here, format it, save. Now the text is bigger, but it's too big, so I will set it to only 20. Save. Okay, now I have a nice button here which says start, and I can also, oh yeah, I want to add a little space here under this is a homepage text and the button, and there are several ways I could do that, but my favorite way is to add an empty widget with a determined height, so it will just make an empty space. I'll use a sized box with the argument of height 16 and make it const. Save it. Now I have a nice spacing between the text and the button. And now I want to try another button, which is icon button. The function will just be empty, and the icon play. Okay, it exists. Nice. Make it const. Save. Now I have a play button here and then start. So I think the play button is nicer, so I will just delete the elevated button. Okay, on the play button. Now I want to make the play button bigger. I can do that by giving the icon object another argument, which is size. The size will be 64, for example. Save it. And now it's bigger. So now I have a simple home page with a blue app bar, a text here, and a play button. And now for a finishing touch, we'll also give just a little decoration, which is a floating action button. And I will add it inside this scaffold here. Floating action button, floating action button. Why is it red? Unpressed, okay. Unpressed. Give it an empty function. And the child will be an icon as well. Icon, icons, info. Info. Okay, that's nice. Make it const. Save. Now I have a little button here. And I want to make it also blue, just like the app bar, to make it, how to say it, just make it look nice, because the app bar is blue. This button will be blue because that's the theme of our app here, blue. I can do that by giving the floating action button an argument, which is a background color, with the value of colors blue. Save it. Now the color is blue, and the icon should be white. Save it. Okay, the icon is now white. So maybe this is a this is the final result. A simple home page with an app bar, a blue app bar the with a home icon, a home page text, and a menu button. A simple display screen here in the middle with a text and a play button and a simple floating action button on the bottom right here, an info icon, and with a blue background. So maybe that's all from me in this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this might be beneficial for all of you, and see you next time inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.